Good morning, Jackednnerdy fans. Jeremy here with a full non-spoiler review for Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. Before I jump into that review though, if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. That way you guys never miss out on a video. And if you do enjoy our content, please make sure you give these videos a thumbs up. That lets us know that you are enjoying the videos that we are putting out there, and it encourages us to keep going. So, with that out of the way, Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves. So, full disclosure, I never played D&D. It is a shame that I bear. I always wanted to play it, but I never knew anybody else who was into it. So I never really got the opportunity growing up to play it. However, I always loved the concept and the idea of it, and I am a massive fan of the fantasy movie genre on the whole. I love Lord of the Rings, I love Game of Thrones, I love anything set back in those kind of mythical days and fantasy, dragons, the whole lot. I love all of that. So I had very high expectations with this movie. I thought they had done a fantastic job with all of the promoting and advertising and everything for this film. So I had very high expectations. I thought it looked very, very good. And I did enjoy this film on the whole. Okay, so I'll let you know on the outset, I did very much enjoy this film on the whole. You probably saw my out of theatre reaction. It was a little bit mixed. So on the whole, I did enjoy the film. However, I did have some big problems with it. I thought a lot of the funniest moments were shown in the trailer, so it didn't leave a lot of surprises during the film. I mean, there still were a few here and there, but I still felt the bulk of the best bits were shown in the trailer. I like I said, I had very high expectations for this film. I was expecting a lot out of it, and to be honest, I didn't get a lot back. I mean, don't get me wrong, the casting, you got Chris Pine, Sophia, Lillis, Michelle Rodriguez, who I love, Regé-Jean Page, I hope I'm pronouncing his name right, Justice Smith, Daisy Head, Hugh Grant, who I think is having a massive resurgence at the moment. I've loved a lot of the stuff that he's been putting out lately. So, all-star cast. Beautiful visual effects, the special effects and the makeup and the costumes, everything there was fantastic. The cinematography and the sets, the scenery, everything, that was all fantastic. The issue I have with this film is that the story fell very flat. There was just the villain was one-dimensional. I don't even really know what what the motives were for the main villain. There was very little background and context given in this film. You don't know who the villain is really. You don't know what their motives are. You don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Like it was just so one-dimensional, so superficial. That's the word I was looking for. You were told this is the bad guy, but you weren't told why. You were given a little bit of a story in like a 15-second clip. There was no meaning behind it. The heroes, okay, you were given a little bit of their backstories, but not very much at all to have give you a very, I had no vested interest in the heroes. I had no emotional connection to them, really, or very, very little. Essentially, on the whole, the story and the characters were very one-dimensional, very superficial, only surface deep. So I found myself, look, I enjoyed the overall, story, and I was entertained for, an hour and a half, nearly 2 hours. But I mean, towards the end, I found myself getting a bit bored. I could, like I said, there was no vested interest in it. The characters didn't resonate. I had no emotional connection. So it just, for me, on the whole, it fell very, very short of expectations. I will say this, though. It is a shit ton better than the last Dungeons & Dragons films that we got. So I will give it that. It is a million times better than the previous attempts at doing a D&D movie. However, when you've got when you've got such a large pool of source material, and you've got all these other really successful fantasy genres that have come before, like The Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones, The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. You've got such a pool of things to draw on. You would think that if they really invested their time and their money and resources to making a really good D&D film, it could be very, very successful. But they in my opinion, they just haven't done it. They haven't hit the mark. They've missed it completely in this film. Surprisingly enough, at the time I'm recording this, it's got a Rotten Tomatoes score of 89%, and an IMDb score of 8 out of 10, which I find extremely amazing that it's scored that high, considering, just a couple of days ago, I went and saw John Wick, and that had like a 94% score, 94 or 98% score on Rotten Tomatoes, and that film is a million times better than Dungeons and Dragons. Completely different genre, but still a million times better. Like, I would go and see John Wick Chapter 4 5 more times. I'd see it every single day this week, but I would not go back and watch Dungeons and Dragons. Now, that's not going to saying that I will never watch D&D again. I'll probably watch it again in a couple of months' time with Mrs. Jackednnerdy when we're sitting on the couch one Saturday or Sunday night, and we can't figure out what we want to watch. We'll probably sit down and watch it together, and we'll have a fun time. But it's nowhere near that score. I'm sorry. I would give it maybe 70%, 65, 70%. It's good, but it's not great. It's entertaining. It's entertaining, but it's not brilliant. Again, these are just my opinions. I would be very interested to know what everyone else thinks. As I said, look, the story just didn't hit with me. It fell flat. For everything, for all the build up with the marketing and the promotion, I thought this was going to be a really great, fun adventure film, and it just fell flat. So hit me up in the comments section below. Let me know what your thoughts are of Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. Did you enjoy it? Did it fulfill all of your expectations? I'd be interested to know what everyone else thinks, especially if you are a D&D player or a D&D fan. One thing I will mention is they did do a little tribute in it to the 90s cartoon, which I did pick up on, and I thought was quite amusing. Mind you, it's only one very small snippet of the whole film, but it is a cute little nod to the 1990s cartoon series, which I grew up watching. So I will give them that as well. So that being said, that is my review. I gave it really good marks across the board with casting, visuals, cinematography, all of that. It was just the story ruined it for me. The story just did not hit it. So again, hit me up. Let me know your thoughts. While you're at it, if you are looking for more content, hit up our Instagram for more behind the scenes stuff there. Check out our eBay, which new items go live on our eBay store every Monday. So make sure you check that out as well. And until next time, guys, stay jacked and stay nerdy.